Tuesday morning, May 13th. Thanks for joining us this morning on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Friedman.
And I'm Dan Schrack. We have 2 full hours to get through, so let's run down what we have brewing for you this morning. I've got a frog in my throat.
I know. It's all right.
I can't get it out.
Do you want some water?
No, I'll manage.
All
I'll
right.
survive.
Hang in there. Today we're continuing to highlight the miracle kids at Golisano Children's Hospital. Today we'll introduce you to Javin and tell you how he overcame his battle with leukemia.
And then later our sights are set on summer. We're going to be getting a look at the top getaway trends for travel in 2025, talking to our travel expert.
And then we're going to talk more about the surprising note that one customer received on a takeout box that left them feeling a little uneasy. More on that coming up in our Trending Now segment.
I want to know more. But before all of that, we do want to get a check of some of our top local headlines. Stephanie Joseph has your Tuesday morning news break.
Well, good morning there, guys. We begin with 3 more former correctional officers charged in the death of Robert Brooks that are expected in court with a deadline looming for a possible plea deal. Now, Anthony Farina, Nicholas Kiefer, and David Kingsley face murder charges in connection with Brooks's fatal beating at Marcy Correctional Facility last December. So far, only one officer has taken a deal. Christopher Walrath pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter and admitted to striking Brooks and failing to report the assault. He faces up to 15 years in prison and is scheduled to be sentenced in August. If the remaining officers do not accept the plea deals, pretrial proceedings are expected to begin in June. First responders near Buffalo are searching for victims after a house exploded in Hamburg. Police say it happened around 8:45 last night. You're taking a look here at this video from our sister station there. They say a massive scene stretched for about a mile away from the house. About 6 homes were damaged, including the home that was destroyed. One man has been taken to the hospital after being pulled from the rubble. His condition is unknown right now. Police are still searching for at least one other person. The Rochester City School Board has approved next year's budget totaling more than $1 billion. The plan prioritizes literacy gains, mental health support, and college and career readiness while avoiding the use of fund balance to fill gaps. Interim Superintendent Dr. Demario Strickland says the spending plan sets the stage for the district's future, including leadership changes coming this summer. Rochester City Council is expected to vote on the final budget next month. New Superintendent Dr. Eric Rosser takes over this July. Roberts Wesleyan University is making major cuts, reducing its full-time workforce by about 20%. A university spokesperson confirms the downsizing will affect both administrative and academic positions, citing enrollment trends and growing financial pressures. The move comes as many small private colleges across the country struggle to balance budgets amid changing demand. Roberts says it's resizing operations in an effort to stabilize its future and continue delivering on its mission. For all these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Back to you.
All right, Steph, thank you. We'll get to the forecast now to see if we will be experiencing more of that gorgeous weather out there. Now you passed the frog on the
I know. I don't know how you got it.
I don't know. It's probably
It jumps.
because we talk loud for 5 hours every day.
Is that how long we're in here?
5 hours, baby.
Oh, boy. Meteorologist Marty Snyder is over in the Weather Center this morning with a preview of what we can expect. Marty, yesterday, absolutely
Gorgeous.
spectacular out there. Spectacular. Today, the temps looking good. The sunshine, hit or miss.
Yeah, not as much, and we're already seeing that cloud cover build in, so yeah, that's a good point. The cloud cover is going to win out. We are seeing a couple little thin spots. You can notice that trend with all that cloud cover to our south and even in the Rochester area, but we have been seeing at least a couple little breaks here and there. In general, that will continue to fill in. Even the precipitation is going to fill in, but notice how it's holding that line mainly to our south right now, so it is keeping a little bit of a distance from us, but more of that rain is going to lift northward just with very slow progress, so it's likely going to take until the afternoon for a lot of that to really reach the immediate Rochester area. Areas just due south of town could get into a few more of those showers by noon, but we'll see highs today mostly in the 70s. Yesterday we were in the 70s, but at the upper end of that range, close to 80 then. Today it's going to be more so low to mid 70s for highs. Down to about 63 tonight, still in the 70s for many of these upcoming days. Keep in mind the average high is about 70, and we cool down a little bit into Sunday and Monday, but overall for a lot of these upcoming days, the chance of rain is there for each day, but there are going to be some dry time frames. We'll time all that out for you each day. But today it's mainly during the afternoon when more of that rain fills in across parts of the area today.
All right. I mean, listen, it's not so bad. No.
Good day for a nap. Maybe.
Ooh, I like the way you think.
Thank you.
I'm ready for that right now.
You're going to take a nap right now?
I can fall asleep right here. Yes.
All right, Marty, thank you. We appreciate it.
Sure.
All right, let's go off the top and start with stories that have piqued our interest this Tuesday morning. I'm going to start things out. The White House Correspondents Association is speaking out after top wire service reporters were not allowed to travel with the president on Air Force One during his trip to the Middle East. So that means no Associated Press, Reuters, Bloomberg reporters, etc. These are usually part of the press pool, which follows the president closely, and this has been going on for a while. The wires are known for fast, factual reporting, and they're usually the first to break the stories. Those stories then get sent out to outlets all around the world in just a couple minutes. A lot of local papers and even some TV stations rely on the wire services to report what's happening at the national level, especially on things like foreign trips where sending one of their own reporters isn't feasible. Excluding them cuts off that pipeline. In a statement, the Correspondents Association called the move a disservice to every American who deserves to know what their highest elected leader is up to. Now, this doesn't mean that there are zero journalists going with him on his trip. The White House press pool on Air Force One has 13 seats, which are designated for the wires, typically, also network TV, print media, radio, and photographers. It's a pool system that allows for broad coverage. It gives journalists the opportunity to ask direct questions mid-flight. A lot of the time you'll see video of the journalists interviewing the president on Air Force One. So, what brought about the change? The Associated Press and the Trump administration have been locked in a legal fight, the outlet refusing to comply with the executive order of renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America. That battle ultimately led to the Associated Press being blocked from smaller White House events. The administration has adjusted its policy for media access. The wire reporters are now being lumped in with print reporters and placed on this rotating schedule for the Oval Office events and for travel. Critics of this say the wire services are drastically different than print journalism. It's kind of like apples to oranges. They say this is a subtle but significant way to limit real-time coverage. Meantime, you might remember White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said that access to events like these are considered a privilege, not a right, adding that the administration reserves the right to decide who gets access to the president. A lot unfolding here with the Associated Press. We know that there's been a lot of back and forth between them and the Trump administration, and a lot of judges also weighing in when it comes to those legal battles. I think it's really interesting that the wires are now being lumped in with print media. It is completely different. People at home a lot of the time don't know the difference. The Associated Press is just facts when it comes to, what I'm trying to say is like there are no opinion pieces. There are no like contributors. It is just, here's what's going on.
Just the story.
We get alerts sent to our email and where we write the scripts, and it's pretty much just 3 or 4 sentences.
Yeah.
Here's what you need to know. And then that's how we get information of things that are happening overseas. So for smaller stations and small newspapers and other outlets like that, they rely on the wires. So this is definitely concerning in the journalism world. There are other outlets where we're able to get that information from, but, a lot of questions.
Didn't one of the courts rule that the White House had the obligation to invite the AP back, and the White House has refused to follow that order? Well,
they're considered to be in this rotating pool now. So Caroline Leavitt has been very supportive of bringing in...
So they changed it for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's been very supportive of... I'm trying to forget her wording, but basically different media outlets. So podcasters and YouTubers and social media journalists, I guess we'll call them, coming in and being part of the press pool. So they had to make room for those individuals. So now they're rearranging the typical press pool.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Because, it changes with every administration.
Absolutely.
But we'll see how long this stays in place, or if they decide that it doesn't work for them down the road and change it back.
Yep.
All right, let's move along to my story, and I want to talk about a venue in Virginia that's getting a lot of attention. Now, this isn't a bar, it's not a casino, and they don't serve alcohol, and it's definitely not some kind of adult-only venue. It's a McDonald's. And yet one location in Virginia is now requiring you be 21 or older just to walk through the doors on any given weekday. Yeah, they're checking ID at the door like it's a nightclub. And if you're under 21, well, sorry, no dine-in service. I know it sounds absurd, and it is, but what led to this is pretty serious. This particular McDonald's in Fairfax County sits just down the street from a high school. And for months, staff and management say they've been dealing with fights, with vandalism, with property damage, and a level of disruption that's forced them to take drastic action. So now, Monday through Friday, only customers 21 and up can go dine inside. Teens can still use the drive-thru, they can order through the app, or enter with an adult, but the message is clear. This location is no longer a free-for-all. To enforce the rules, they've got a doorbell outside with a camera system. You ring the doorbell, show your ID, and only then are you buzzed in. Is it extreme? Absolutely. But if McDonald's has to act like a security checkpoint, that's a sign something else has gone off the rails. This isn't just about a fast food story. It's a public safety story. And the fact that this came to this says a lot about what they've been dealing with behind the counter. Now, it's easy to laugh at the funny headline, but it's hard to ignore the behavior that made that headline necessary. And if that many kids are causing that much damage at this McDonald's, the problem isn't policy, it's what made them that put it in place.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That is crazy. I think the 21 is very, that's interesting. That's an interesting choice. I would have thought 18.
Well, I imagine, and I know there are some high school students who are still 18.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But I mean, on any given day, you look on social media and you see some of these poor fast food workers being berated behind the counter by people, you know?
Yeah. And not just kids. I mean, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. But plenty of adults.
Yeah.
That's where the kids learn that behavior. And it's just unacceptable. These people are just working their 9 to 5, trying to earn a living, and they don't get paid enough to deal with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, listen, I say go for it. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah. It
Like-
is. Yeah.
I tried to find out. They weren't open. But I tried to find out if they have a play place inside. Because I think it would be even more outrageous that Monday through Friday you can't even access the play place now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Although, yeah. I don't know how many, I'm not going to.
No, say it.
Well, I just don't know how many, like, high schoolers would be going in the play place, and I don't know how many young children would be going there.
Alone?
Yeah.
How many 6-year-olds are
Well, I just
walking up
don't
to the
think
door
they're like-
with their fake ID?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's
you know.
fair. That's fair. But all the same.
All the same. You're right.
the
Bigger
fact-
problem at hand.
Yeah, the fact that you have to put this in place, come on. What have we got going on?
You got me thinking about French fries now.
Do I?
It's going to be a problem.
Well, listen, Chris Lopez is talking smoked and barbecued meats this morning.
Yeah.
We're going to be checking in with him. And he has a license to grill.
That was clever,
today.
Ashley.
That was
good job.
Ashley.
Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live right now on the 13 WHAM YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We're back after this. Welcome back. The month of May is dedicated to honoring men and women who have served in our armed forces.
Yeah, in honor of this month, Chris Lopez wanted to spotlight a veteran-owned business. He's live at Heintzelman's BBQ Pit in Ontario for us this morning. Making his way indoors now. Something tells me he's going to be sitting at a table soon and feeding his face.
Not sitting at a table at all. I'm going to be standing at a table, Dan, and we are doing the chicken wings this time. I'm very excited for this. We have 9 different sauces out here, ranging from relatively sweet all the way to pretty much devil's spit, if you will. I tried a little bit of their incredibly hot sauce here on the tip of my finger, and not too bad, right? Kind of kicks you in the face a little bit and then drops down. So I'm pretty excited to try that on a wing. These wings are coming out fresh right now. Okay, here we go. Here's the man himself, Bob Heintzelman, owner here at Heintzelman's BBQ Pit. That's a lot of wings.
Oh, we only gave you 2 of each and gave you a selection whether you'd like a drum or a flat.
Okay.
So,
And are these a pretty heavy seller here at Heintzelman?
they are. We go through quite a few wings. We have a special, so we have Wing Wednesday. So, we're going to set these 2 off to the side because we have a specialty one there for that.
Okay.
So, we're going to go right into this. So, this is our original.
All right.
So, we give those a little toss and put them out there for you. A little bit extra on there.
All right.
So-
Going to work. I'm going to drop the mic. Mic drop here. Let's try these.
Go
I'm going to work
around.
my way. This is the original right here. I believe this is ketchup and a little bit of vinegar.
Correct.
Essentially.
Ketchup and vinegar in that one.
Okay.
We're going to kind of move you
The
up.
wings have such a great consistency. They're crunchy at the start of your bite, and then it gets softer as you work your way into the wing. Let's go to the sweet over here. What's in this one?
That one is brown sugar, honey, and some spices. So we're going to work you up in temperature kind of a little bit. Here at the pit, you can also get your wings deep fried on the charbroiler, or you can also get them baked if you prefer. So they're all smoked first, and then we take it to where you'd like it. This one here is our gold sauce.
Look at that. That's
So-
beautiful. Mustard.
Mustard base with vinegar. That was developed for some guys out of South Carolina, North Carolina that were up here working. They'd asked me to come up with something like that, and we kind of went from there with that one. So
Love the vinegar. Love a little bit of that zest, the tang that the vinegar brings in there.
this one here is our mild. So we're starting to get into a little bit of the heat.
Okay. And
So-
Bob, I don't like blue cheese. You got to change my mind. You got to change my mind here.
I think we're gonna, because this is an in-house made blue cheese dressing.
Okay. I love that everything is made in-house here. Mostly everything is pretty much made in-house here, from the rubs to the sauces, custom sauces
Correct.
as well.
Well, Grandma always said, if you can't make it from scratch, don't make it. And she said, if people go away from your table hungry, then you didn't give them enough.
You changed my mind a little bit on that blue cheese. The creaminess cuts that spice in half, like you said. It really mellows out the spices. Moving
And it
along here.
Doesn't have that heavy blue
Yeah.
cheese kind of.
Yeah, that's what I was
pungency.
expecting.
Yeah. So this one here,
Country.
you have to have country sweet being from Rochester, so we just have our mild country sweet. That is our only sauce that we do nothing with but use the country sweet brand. So.
I like that.
Yeah.
A little bit of sweetness in there. Okay.
So this one here is a regular buffalo wing sauce. So just
Gotta have buffalo.
Gotta
We're
have
near
buffalo.
Buffalo,
Yep.
Western New York.
So. And then we're going to jump up a little bit in heat to our hot. So this has habanero and cayenne pepper and a little bit of jalapeno paste. So
Okay. All right, my water's over there. I'm going to grab it if I need it.
that one shouldn't be too bad.
That one's not too bad. Is there vinegar in that?
There is a little bit of vinegar in that.
I love that. I like the vinegar. The vinegar almost intensifies the heat, but doesn't make it too intense.
Right. But it keeps your salivation glands just keep working for you. So this one here is our garlic parm that you had before. So there's no heat on that one. So if you want to, you already tried that if you wanted to move right on. So this is our Dawn Special. So Dawn Special has our hot sauce with our garlic parm. It's my wife's staple. Everybody loves the Dawn Special.
That looks beautiful. I don't even want to eat this. Okay.
So you take that creaminess from and the butteriness from the garlic parm, and then you add that little bit of heat in there.
That's my favorite one so far.
It just
I
kind
love
of
that one.
complements it. Yes.
Okay.
So now here's one that we kind of did a little quick taste test on before, our fire pit sauce, and we can go up or down from here. I highly recommend a little bit of blue cheese on that to kind of mellow that out.
Take the recommendation from the doc. All right. A little bit on there. It's a beautiful wing, though.
That one does have ghost pepper in it, but we can bring it up or take it down, whatever you would like. And those are the wings, smoked wings.
That's not
here
too
at
bad.
Heintzelman's.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Coming up next, we're going to be talking about Bob Heintzelman's military service. We are military appreciation. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
Guy just ate his weight in wings.
I'm jealous.
They gave him a
I'm
flight
so
of wings.
hungry. It's good for him.
An unknown
He's a
caller's
growing
calling
boy.
someone there. You should answer.
All right. Bye, Chris.
Stick around. When we come back, we are getting this morning's weather trivia.
Our Rochester is back on the other side of the break.
Years. Yeah. I was deleting stuff from 2019 like 2 months ago because it said, sorry, you can't get more email yet.
What about plausible deniability? Like you have to delete it to get rid of it. Come on, Dan.
Oh, man. This guy has a fix for everything.
Just write it down.
Meteorologist
swallow it.
Mark McLean in the house this morning. We're talking about the cloudy conditions and weather trivia.
Of course.
I'm excited for weather trivia today.
Are you?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
me too.
Wow.
I was
I'm
going to make.
sorry.
I was
The
going to
truth
make the
comes
weather.
out.
I was going to make the weather trivia about the heat in the Midwest.
Okay.
Yesterday, it was like 100 degrees in North Dakota. Can
Wow.
you believe that? I mean, for this time of the year.
That's pretty crazy.
Our viewers in North Dakota would have loved it.
They're big fans of
and
the
that's,
show.
I circled back and was like, yeah, well, I mean, they're watching, but we'd probably be better off to have trivia about something more local, like Lake
Probably.
Ontario, right?
Yeah.
The big lake to our north. Let's talk about it. So the trivia question today: areas near Lake Ontario usually stay much cooler than areas south of Rochester, especially in the spring. Do you know how cool the lake water is this morning? Ooh. So this is the water intake by the Shoremont plant. So this goes out like 1,000 feet into the lake or something like that, and it's about the water intake's about 30 feet below the surface, so it's pretty well mixed down there. Sometimes in the summertime we get big swings in the temperature when the lake turns over, but here's the choices. Is it 46 degrees, 36 degrees, 40 degrees, or 50
Done.
degrees?
I've got it.
I think I've got it too.
Yeah?
Feeling pretty good.
But it's natural air conditioning, isn't it cool?
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Pardon the pun. Pardon the pun.
That's good.
Yeah.
I just think that the lakes are cool.
Yeah.
Can you name all of them?
Not right now. I'm too tired.
Can you name them all?
Of course.
Can you name them all?
Yeah. Hit us.
Superior,
Okay.
Michigan,
Okay.
Huron,
Okay.
Erie,
Uh-huh.
Ontario,
Uh-huh.
and Lake St. Clair's a little guy. It's near Detroit. I don't think it's
I wouldn't
officially
have
part of the
gotten that
party.
one.
Yeah, I don't think it's part of the Great Lakes.
Cool fact about the Great Lakes, largest inland island in the world.
Oh.
Yeah, if you go up just north of Michigan, it's huge. The
How do you
island.
like that?
Yeah, yeah.
I think Superior is really cool.
Superior, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's
I'm not- okay, aside
it
from the
stands
name.
out above the rest.
No, just in general. It's like, it's one of the scary
gigantic.
ones.
It's gigantic.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a little freaky.
It's like being on the ocean.
I mean, but they're all kind of like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
but the
can
wreck
be.
of the Edmund Fitzgerald, I mean, come on now.
I know it. And the waves, you get the west wind. I went to Oswego, SUNY Oswego, the east end of Lake Ontario. It wasn't uncommon to get 12, 15-foot waves.
That's
when the waves
crazy.
crashed in, especially during a storm. So.
Wow.
Really cool.
We got to talk a little bit about weather, just
Okay.
a little bit. We'll jump in here. So we'll have the trivia answer coming up. But today is the last day, just 5 years ago. Remember this? We had 4 record low temperatures in the first 2 weeks of May in 2020. 29 on the 5th, 29 on the 9th. It was 30 on the 12th and 27 degrees on this date back in 2020.
crazy.
So, speaking of turning things around, 61 degrees though, so we're on the other side of this today. 66 already in Brockport, 67 in Rush in Ontario, so we're not getting that chilling influence of the lake thanks to the southeast breeze. Now, it's dry right now, but there are some showers and some steadier areas of light rain to our south, and those will be lifting up towards western New York as we go towards the afternoon. So definitely expect some wet weather this afternoon into early this evening. But the overnight is not a total washout. We get to Wednesday, and there's still that chance for some showers. But again, compared to the coverage this afternoon, I think the coverage of showers will be a little bit lower. So the forecast, I forgot to adjust those days again. Everything else is right. Everything else is right. So 74 today, 73 tomorrow at 76. For Thursday, I'll adjust that next time. But the sneeze cast, this is one place where that rain's going to help us out. The birch, the oak, the hickory trees are open. And
The sneeze cast.
that's what Scott named it. So I'll keep
like it.
Dr. Hartel's office has a low count on grass pollen for the first time this season, too. So if you just started feeling the symptoms, likely it's that grass jumping in there. Planning forecast today says plan on those showers this afternoon. Temps in the low 70s, and the 7-day forecast for us does keep 70s here, at least for the next few days. You notice by the end of the week that temps are in the upper 70s. Could be a few thunder showers. We'll have to watch that Thursday, Friday, and then the weekend starts to get cooler. We'll be back in the low 60s by early next week.
Do you think by midweek next week we're going to start on an upward trend again?
Slowly, but it's going to take a little bit of time. The
Yeah.
pattern for the next 8 to 14 days is kind of slightly below normal again. But no sign of any frost or freeze in there, which is always a good thing for this time of the year, too. Overnights are in the 50s and 60s on that forecast.
That is good.
All right.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
Time right now is 8:31. Much more to come here on Arc Rochester.
We are back after this. 3 this morning. Thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. We now want to take you behind the story as we continue to follow some breaking overnight news in Hamburg.
Yeah, first responders near Buffalo are searching for victims after a house exploded last night.
For more on the investigation and what we know at this hour, we're joined by reporter Michael Schwartz from our sister station, WKBW. Michael, thank you so much for joining us this morning. What is the latest there?
Yeah, hey guys. So I was here since last night, and now that the sun is up, we're getting a better picture. I want to flip the phone around to show you what the latest is right now, what you're seeing. So to give you an idea, behind that excavator is the home that exploded. I'm going to walk around to give you a little bit of a better idea. That home exploded, causing that house to catch fire. That was smoking even early this morning, and in fact, fire crews were putting out hotspots in that home. They tell me the people were not home, but they anticipate that home will have to get knocked down in addition to the home that is completely just leveled. That is destroyed. What we know right now is as of 11 p.m., the last update from Hamburg police, Captain John told me that one person was pulled from the rubble, a man taken to the hospital. His condition as of 11 p.m. and still is unknown. At that point, 11 p.m., they were searching for at least one victim, maybe another victim. But there obviously is no search going on right now. It is unknown that person's condition or persons' condition. So as of 11 p.m., they were searching. They're not searching anymore. We're awaiting to hear from Hamburg police this morning on the latest on both the man taken to the hospital, potentially other victims that they were searching for. You may be able to see the holes in that roof. This was such a blast that was felt blocks and blocks away. If you're unfamiliar with Hamburg, this is about 15 minutes southwest of Highmark Stadium where the Bills play. 6 different homes, at least, were impacted. And what you're looking at right now, a neighbor told me it seems like a zombie apocalypse, he said. You just saw that video where the smoke's rising. There's power lines down. It's hot. There's soot. He said he looked to his neighbor and she had a gash on her head and she's screaming sounds you never want to hear. And he just ran. He knew he had to be with his kids and just run and try to do whatever he could. I'm on this lady's property right now. I've been here since last night. She's been gracious to let us here. And she said her mirror actually fell off the wall and she just couldn't believe. She just said is still shaking from this blast. You can see over there, first responders are putting keepsakes into a plastic bag. I'm not even sure what home that is from because there's so many homes that are impacted here. But the main thing right now is that at least one person taken to the hospital, potentially one or more victims that they were searching for as of 11 p.m. last night. But that's the very latest with this home. And I'm trying to zoom it in for you, but if you could see, that is just destroyed. And I remember when I was with you guys at WHAM, I covered a house explosion. It's very scary. It's very frightening for the neighborhood, and it impacts an entire community.
Michael, I see a lot of first responders there. I'm curious to know if we see any kind of gas and electric companies out there right now. I'm sure that there's quite a bit of cleanup that needs to be done, but I know the cause of this hasn't been determined yet.
Right. The cause is not determined, but National Fuel, National Grid, they've been out here from the very start. I was talking to the utility company. I said, when this happens and you have to cut the power, what's the first thing that you do? And they explained to me in a situation like this, you can't get to the home. So the first thing you have to do is go to the safest pole and cut the main line. And that's exactly what they did just down the block. So if you are familiar with this area, that's Lakeshore Road. And this is just West Lane. That is just a little street off of it. But they've been literally digging in the ground in addition to the firefighters that are here, the more than 100 first responders. It was absolutely unbelievable. They're all just working alongside each other. I'm looking at utility workers right now in orange hats that are outside this home. that are just continuing to monitor, literally pick up the pieces of the situation. And Abby and Dan, and for the viewers, I don't know if you could see, but right through there, you could kind of see the frame of what was a wall that is just destroyed. And they think now this home is going to have to be torn down as well because of how badly damaged. We're told that those people are actually out of town. They weren't even home when this happened. So just a really frightening situation
Really
here. The
devastating.
blast.
Michael,
Yeah, the blast.
we're running low on time, but I want to know if people that live there, the other neighbors, are they able to get in and out? I imagine because they didn't have access to power and electric at that home, and they had to shut it off. Shut down the main lines. They're out without services, but have they been able to, get ready and go to work today?
Yeah, I mean, they've been able to. They can't really leave this area, but this is 10-ish, 12 houses. We haven't seen anyone leave this street, but people. A man just came to his in-laws' place right there, so there is access. That's one of the first things I asked in last night's press conference: is it even safe with gas? There was an odor last night, but that's one of the first things they did is deem this area safe to allow the first responders and people to gain access in and out. The road has reopened now, the main stretch of Lakeshore Road, as this is the early stages of the investigation. That we will keep you posted as soon as we learn more from police, hopefully this morning.
Yeah, Michael, we appreciate the time. Is there any plan for a press conference maybe later this morning or early afternoon?
Yeah, I spoke to the captain with Hamburg police last night, and he said hopefully this morning we will learn more and hopefully get an update, hopefully a positive update on the man who was taken to the hospital, and learn more about this situation that's just devastating all around.
All right, Michael Schwartz from WKBW. Michael, thank you so much for your time. Keep us posted, my friend.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Take care.
Time right now is 8:40. Much more to come this morning on ARC Rochester.
Stick around. We're back on the other side of the break. Welcome back, 8:43. We want to turn now to our ongoing week-long celebration of Golisano Children's Hospital Miracle Kids.
One of those miracles is 17-year-old Javin Jackson, who's endured heartbreaking obstacles throughout his young life, most notably his battle with leukemia.
Javin Jackson, lovingly known as Red by his friends and family, is a fearless 17-year-old. Red's story is one of unimaginable obstacles and devastating loss, but also a story that proves you're never fighting alone.
It was just another hit after another. And I think one thing was family, but also our faith and God and going to church and things like that that got us through it.
Red's story starts in Phoenix, Arizona, when he was first diagnosed with Philadelphia chromosome-positive leukemia at 7 years old.
His dad took him into a walk-in clinic at first, and the walk-in clinic sent us home. The next day, he woke up with an extended stomach, yellow eyes, and so we decided to take him to Phoenix Children's Hospital.
After aggressive treatment, and with his twin brother, Yellow, and the rest of his family by his side, Red went into remission.
Family was very important, the support. So getting through that with them was probably the easiest thing.
But the family's fight was far from over. Red's father, Jermaine, was diagnosed with prostate cancer with 5 years to live. 1 year following his diagnosis, more heartbreak for the Jackson family.
My daughters, we weren't able to prepare for that. She was brutally murdered. That was something out in Phoenix. That was something that kind of knocked me down, for a long time. And it still knocks me down,
Reeling from tragedy and coping with Jermaine's declining health, the Jacksons moved to Mount Morris, New York. Jermaine later lost his battle with cancer in 2024.
Up until the point that he passed, I always thought that even when he was in the hospital that he was going to make it out.
Years later, Red, now an honor roll student and an athlete, started to feel sick again. A second leukemia diagnosis quickly followed.
A point in time where we were like, why it had to be us that was going through this.
Red began treatment at Golisano Children's Hospital with Dr. Jeffrey Andolina and his team by his side. Chemo and antibiotic treatments followed, but he needed more. A bone marrow transplant.
Red did not have any well-matched unrelated donors, and so we used a family member as the donor for his bone marrow transplant. His younger sister, Jadia, who I believe is 7 years old, was his bone marrow donor.
Thanks to Jadia, doctors say things may finally be turning around.
He did not have any major complications. He recovered very quickly, and he remains in remission over the past year, and he's expected to be a long-term survivor and to be cured.
His care team says Red's strength, positivity, and family got him through. Meantime, the Jacksons credit their faith and the dedicated team who became like family.
I think our staff would do anything for this family. They're really such lovely people, and it was, I think it really brought our staff together to do everything we possibly could for him and his family.
Yeah, this is like our second home, basically. So the happy faces and the joy that they gave us while we were here, our stay here was amazing.
Today, Red is thriving with a world full of opportunity ahead of him.
Regaining strength and being back in school and being involved in sports again is good. It's amazing.
A truly remarkable kid who has gone through so much, and just his spirit and his perseverance, he's a fantastic kid.
And we've talked about it before, but the incredible team at Golisano.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
We really
hands down.
are fortunate to have an institution
Very
like
much
that
so.
in our area.
Very much so.
Yeah. If you would like to help make miracles happen, you can always donate by scanning the QR code and visiting 13wham.com. Click the link to the hospital's giving page.
Hey, don't go anywhere. When we come back, it's this week's edition of Crime Stoppers.
And don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel. We're back after this.
Welcome back. 8:50 this Tuesday. For this week's Crime Stoppers, we are re-educating ourselves on how to keep our families safe from some of the latest scams.
Yeah, for more, we're joined now by Deputy Brendan Hurley from the Monroe County Sheriff's Office to talk about it. Thanks for being here today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about it. We were discussing this during the commercial break. It just doesn't stop.
It really doesn't, and it's something that I feel like we talk about all the time, but we have to, right? I'm constantly putting things up on social media just for public awareness, because the only way that we're really going to get through is to educate people to prevent this from happening. And like we were saying in the commercial break, we had one a couple weeks ago where it all started with a text message. The person just randomly texts probably 100 people, "Hi," and they just wait for that person to answer, and the poor person answered, and within a week or two, they were out $400,000.
And in situations like that, I would imagine the people that are on the other side of the phone who are scamming these poor victims, they're not local, so there's not much that can be done to recover that money.
It's interesting. It's a wide spectrum, I would say. There are some locals, and what we're seeing a trend now is correct. It's people overseas, it's people somewhere else who are heading it up, but they're using local people, and sometimes those people aren't even aware as couriers. We had another one the other day where a person got the phone call that their daughter was in jail and they had to get him out on bail, so he took out like $10,000, put it in a box, and then the courier came and picked it up. And a lot of times we'll grab that courier, because luckily we become involved. Somebody's aware enough to say, hey, this is going on, and we'll grab that courier when they come, and through a lengthy investigation, we determine that they're not aware. They were just hired to go pick something up, a package, right? Like UPS or Amazon. They just go to pick up a package to deliver it somewhere.
It is really sad because this can really ruin somebody's life.
Oh, absolutely. And it's, there's a misconception that it's elder scams or it's only older people, and it's not. It's everybody, right? It's more heartbreaking when it's someone who's worked their entire life for their savings, and they're on a fixed income, and then that savings is gone in an instant because they've fell victim to one of these swindlers. But it really does happen to everybody. I'm sure you guys have gotten them. You get the text message that you have a toll or your Easy Pass is up.
Sure.
I mean, I get them all day long. But the best advice for people is just don't answer, don't reply. If you don't know who the person is, you don't know who the call's from, let the voicemail get it. Let them leave a voicemail. And always, always, always triple check any website or anything that you click on online. Don't fall for the, what kind of a butterfly am I on Facebook? Right? There's all these little scams out there, and there's too many to mention. But one of the most important ones that I always want to talk about is the law enforcement scam. No law enforcement officer ever should or would ask you for gift cards in lieu of anything. Right? There is bail. If you have a warrant, you should know you have the warrant. It shouldn't be a surprise. There can be bail, but we will never take Green Dot or Visa cards or any of that, and neither will the IRS, right? Neither will Social Security, so don't ever fall for that. And anybody who works at a store, if you're a clerk somewhere, or, and someone comes in and they're trying to buy $1,000 worth of gift cards or more, that's a red flag. That red flag should go up and have a conversation with that person.
Absolutely. If someone gets a phone call, gets a text message, and they think it's likely a scam, is it beneficial at all to pass that information along to law enforcement? This is the number it came from?
Absolutely. And we hear it all the time. Is there a different number? I never want to call 911. I don't want to tie them up. Well, that's what 911's for. Call 911, a deputy and officer will come out, and even if we already are aware of it, at least we can talk to you a little bit, maybe, explain some things, but there's a lot of times where there's so many of these scams that we don't know what's going on. So if we do find out there's a different one, then I can put something out and we can let the whole public know.
Good to know.
We really appreciate your time today.
Yeah.
I guess you at home, just be mindful and don't open those texts or emails or answer the calls.
It's certainly not something anyone wants to fall victim to, especially one of your loved ones. Thank you again.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Time right now is 8:54. Much more to come this morning on ARC Rochester.
We're back after this.
Much more to come this morning on ARC Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour. Stephanie Joseph will be breaking down some of our top political stories.
Yeah, she joins us now from the live desk with a preview of what's ahead. Good morning, Steph.
Good morning there, guys. In today's political pulse, we're following President Trump's 4-day trip to the Middle East. Now, Trump arrived in Saudi Arabia this morning. Where else he's expected to visit and the topics that'll be discussed. And the new video showing the moment an American held hostage by Hamas was reunited with his family. Plus, dozens of South Africans arriving in the U.S. with new refugee protections. Why the move is facing pushback from South Africa's president. Also, what to know about a major tax plan unveiled by House Republicans. That's all coming up in our 9 o'clock hour. ARC Rochester returns right after this.
Tuesday morning, May 13th. Thanks for sticking with us on ARC Rochester. I'm Abby Fridman.
And I'm Dan Schrack. That is Mark McLean. He joins us once again. We'll get a check of his forecast in just a minute or so. We do, though, want to turn to Stephanie Joseph at the live desk with your Tuesday morning ARC Rochester news break.
Here are some of the top local stories that we're following this Tuesday. 3 more former correctional officers charged in the death of Robert Brooks are expected in court with a deadline looming for a possible plea deal. Anthony Farina, Nicholas Kiefer, and David Kingsley face murder charges in connection with Brooks's fatal beating at Marcy Correctional Facility last December. So far, only one officer has taken a deal. Christopher Walrath pleaded guilty to first-degree manslaughter and admitted to striking Brooks and failing to report the assault. He faces up to 15 years in prison and is scheduled to be sentenced in August. If the remaining officers do not accept the plea deals, pretrial proceedings are expected to begin in June. First responders near Buffalo are searching for victims after a house exploded in Hamburg. Police say it happened around 8:45 last night. We're taking a look at video here from our sister station. They say a massive scene here stretched for about a mile away from the house. About 6 homes were damaged, including the home that was destroyed. One man has been taken to the hospital after being pulled from the rubble. His condition is unknown right now. Police are still searching for at least one other person. A Rochester man is facing 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine after pleading guilty to child pornography charges. Last November, prosecutors say Google flagged an account associated with 58-year-old Daniel Walsh and reported it to Rochester police. Prosecutors say they found more than 600 images and videos when searching his home. Walsh is due to be sentenced in September. For all these top stories and any updates, be sure to visit 13wham.com. Back to you.
All right, Steph, thanks. We'll switch gears now, getting a check of the forecast and the answer to this morning's weather trivia.
Ooh, that's right.
Have you been up to the lake yet this year?
No, not yet.
Not yet?
I went swimming.
You were in it? No.
No.
Little polar plunge, maybe?
No, thank you.
Ooh.
No,
That would
I'm
make
not
a good-
doing that. That
Good
just
live
seems-
arc show.
That was one of Chris Lopez's first live shots, right?
Oh, the polar plunge?
Did he?
Wow.
Yeah, he was early on.
Did he-
early.
Did he go in?
Yeah.
He did?
I tweeted it out. Yeah, I said he's officially a Rochesterian.
Oh, see, I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's still chilly up there, but that's the trivia question today, so we can go to that. Basically, we get some natural air conditioning off of Lake Ontario this time of the year. So check out today's trivia. It asks about the lake water temperature. Did you realize how cool it still is? You know, even though the air temperature is topping out near 80 at times this time of the year, this week's forecast is in the 70s. That lake water is still pretty chilly. Is it 46, 36, 40, or 50 degrees? And this was as of the last check earlier this morning. Now we've got some answers online. Lots of A's. Cheryl, Dennis, Julie, and Wayne all went with A. Gina and Yvonne went with C for the answer. So what
Abigail is going with. Can we see
go
those
with-
options again?
My original idea was A, and I'm feeling good about it still.
Yeah, I think 46 is a safe bet right now.
All right, let's see it. There it is.
Nice.
46 degrees. And, you know, when the air temperature is 80 and you get a north or a northeast breeze, it was amazing. I drove from Henrietta to North Greece, and it was 83 degrees on the car temperature here in the parking lot as I was leaving. Got up there, and it was 61.
Ooh.
Wow.
Just on 390, just, you know, driving north. And that's what made me think of this trivia question yesterday for today. The lake temperature typically will reach the low 70s during the middle of summer. So you get to the end of July and August. Usually it peaks in late August and early September. We'll see some of those temperatures. Lake Erie, by the way, can actually get up to 80 in some of our hottest weather. It's much more shallow. So it heats up and it cools off much more quickly than Lake Ontario, which is a much deeper lake. So kind of some interesting stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun weather trivia.
Yeah, for our little guys here.
Oh, look at Tuck.
Tucker wants to go for a walk today along that big blue lake. Come on, take him up there. Muddy Paw outlook. We've got some showers in the forecast this afternoon. This morning looks pretty safe at this point. And, you know, even though you see the wet paws on each one of these days through Saturday, I just want to stress that every one of these days is not a washout. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, this is more of the isolated to widely scattered variety of showers and likely just a few passing rain showers into Saturday. So Tucker, get on out there. We've got a mostly cloudy sky in 68 right now. The dew point is actually in the mid-50s, so you're starting to feel that change of season out there as the atmospheric moisture content starts to increase. And speaking of that, to the south of Rochester, some showers showing up down through the southern tier this morning. The wide view shows that does become a steady light rain into parts of Pennsylvania. So as that weak storm system lifts to the north, we do expect that chance for rain to start to increase by this afternoon. So there it is. Later tonight, we'll see some rain-free periods. Then into Wednesday, once again, some passing or widely scattered showers. But again, much of the time should be rain-free for us for both Wednesday and Thursday. So Lilac Festival, you know, don't skip out on it just because you see that there's a chance of a shower in the forecast. It's great. The lilacs are in full bloom. The park is absolutely gorgeous right now. Temps in the mid-70s, 76 by Thursday.
How's it looking for lunchtime today for people who want to go over to Highland?
Yeah.
on the lunch break?
It just looks mainly cloudy.
Okay.
So, and again, it's very comfortable with the temperature in the upper 60s. You really can skip out on the jacket if you get the long sleeves on. You're in pretty good shape. We'll reach the low 70s by this afternoon, and overnight tonight, again, low temperature in the 60s. That's about 15 degrees above normal for this time of the year. Could be some thunder around later Thursday into Friday. That does not look like a huge deal at this point. Low 70s, some passing showers on Saturday. Cooler as we move towards early next week. Temps back in the low 60s.
Love that.
Yes, excellent.
Starting to think,
shaping up.
thinking about getting some of the house plants out. You know, when you start to see that, I just want to wait for that data for the middle of next week to see if those low temperatures drop back down into the upper 30s or near 40. I don't like to have anything outside if
I don't
it's
think it's
going
going to happen. I think you can do it.
Fingers crossed.
Move them out.
Crossed.
Hey, Ashley, where's our countdown?
Uh-oh.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
37.
37 days. We are getting close.
To the summer solstice.
Oh, man.
That's a funny word to say.
Solstice?
I can't.
You just did.
Solstice.
You got it.
Oh, okay.
Now,
There's an extra.
the best holiday of them all, you struggle to say.
Yes.
Halloween.
Yes.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Halloween.
There you go.
I've been saying it off camera. So that
Have you've been practicing?
So I would say Halloween.
On the drive-in every morning, he's got a
knows
vocal
he's
warm-up.
gonna-
That's my vocal warm-up.
Halloween. Oh, Lord. Thank you, McLean. Appreciate it.
All right, much more to come this morning on ARC Rochester. When we come back, we'll check in again with Chris Lopez, who is eating again.
No surprise there. You can stream him eating live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel or on foxrochester.com. Find out what he wants to eat tomorrow, too. It's probably posted there as well.
Welcome back. This is your read, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You can have it. I'm giving it to you.
Okay, thank you. The month of May is dedicated to honoring the men and women who have served in our armed forces.
Yes, and in honor of this, Chris Lopez wanted to spotlight a veteran-owned business. He's live this morning at Heintzelman's Barbecue Pit in Ontario. Chris, all morning long you have been eating. My question for you, buddy, is what was your favorite of those sauces on the wings?
The Dawn Special. That was hands down the favorite one. It had to be followed by the hottest thing I've tasted in probably, I don't know, a year. I'm just now calming down off of that, but that is all thanks to Bob Heintzelman, and we're going to get into a little bit. We've been eating all day, essentially all morning, thanks to you. We're going to get into your service. 30 years.
Almost, yeah.
Almost 30 years.
Yep.
Service. Family full of service members as well. Did that branch into them joining? Did that make you want to join?
It did to a point, but you know, the big push for me was college. I wanted to be a doctor, and you know, the recruiter came and said, hey, we can put you through medical school and help you get this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, okay, great. And then right before I was going to sign up to be a medic, he said, hey, guess what? We can put a gun in your hand and we can pay you to run around the woods. And being an outdoor country boy, I said, oh yeah, let's go for that. So I spent most of my time in the infantry.
Okay.
Kind of all over the world.
11 bang bang, me too.
11 bang bang, ground pounders, you know, like the tankers call us, crunchies. So, but been all over the world, numerous combat deployments, humanitarian aids. I was a recruiter. I worked at Arlington Cemetery. I was with George Bush for his inauguration. Great time there. Got to seat Sylvester Stallone at the inaugural ball. So that was quite a highlight. You know, I've had a fantastic career, and I would go back and do it all again if they would let me.
I was going to ask you, do you miss it?
I miss it like there's no tomorrow. There's a camaraderie among service members that civilians don't and will never understand unless you've done it. You know, as we were talking earlier, I graduated from here in Ontario, Wayne Central, lived here most of my life. Some people I don't talk to. The people I served with, going back to 1985, 86, I still talk to them. You know, the one good thing about social media is you can contact with those people that you miss. You know, we have a 5-year reunion with the people I was deployed with. We get together, talk about things we forgot about or we wanted to forget about, you know, and bring it back up. And, you know, we're all very strong-minded individuals, but you sit down and you talk with your buddies and everybody gets that tear in their eye and we hug and we say goodbye and we go about our lives. But I know if anything was to happen, all I got to do is make a phone call and they'd all be right here with me. So.
And you have a wall dedicated going down this hallway here, up to here. You have the different patches, 10th Mountain. I'm seeing LERP in here, different police stations as well. You choose to pay it forward with a certain program that I'm going to let you elaborate on. What do you do here to almost pay it forward for other veterans or other first responders out there?
So our Pay It Forward program is if you decide that you would like to help out somebody in the community, what you do is you come in and you purchase a meal or you purchase whatever you can afford, and it goes up on our wall. And when we get 20 receipts of what people have purchased, we choose an organization, or sometimes people approach us, and we donate all of those meals to that organization for that lunch or dinner or whatever that afternoon it might be. So.
And when it comes to this, you immediately retired, next day opened this up. Did you take anything from your service years, the almost 30 years of service, into this?
I absolutely did. You know, kids ask me all the time about should they join, and number one thing is I would say absolutely join. Everybody should join and serve 2 to 3 years. It will make them a much better, well-rounded person. So, in fact, with that is the leadership, the diversity training, being able to have a personal connection with everybody and problem solve is what I think has enabled me to be such a success in my businesses. You know, aside from the great staff that I have and my loyal customers and patrons, the ability to handle any situation at any given time is what has made us extremely successful.
And successful you are, on top of making the best wings I've had in a very, very long time. I'm trying to remember anything that could. Love the crisp on the wings. I'm bringing those back up again. When are you guys open though?
So we're open Wednesday and Thursday from 4 to 8, and then we're open Friday and Saturday from noon to 8. And we have specialty nights. Our Wednesday night is wing night. Thursday night is our steak night, but you can also get an 8 to 10 ounce lobster tail or crab legs. Friday's our fish fry. Saturday's our prime rib, which is a little different than everybody else because I can't be the same as everybody. So we smoke our prime rib for about an hour to get that little hint in there, and then we finish it off. And you can get our specialty steaks a tomahawk, which is 42 ounces, or a 36-ounce cowboy steak. I just need 24 hours because I get those fresh cut as they're ordered. But Wednesday night or Thursday night is our 16-ounce bone-out prime ribeye steak. So
something going on every single day. Come check them out here in Ontario, Knickerbocker Road. Check this place out. You can smell this place from when we pulled up just out on the street over there. I'm gonna send it back to you guys in studio for now. I'm incredibly full. Tomorrow, we're gonna be out on the water. I'm gonna try and work some of this off.
What are you doing on? Okay, we'll find out tomorrow.
Well, I want to know what. Oh, okay. You are going to be.
yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Good. Yep. You're going to need that workout.
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Much more to come this morning on ARC Rochester. When we come back, Steph will be here breaking down our top political headlines.
Your political pulse coming up next.
It's time for a political pulse check here on ARC Rochester. We begin with day one of a 4-day trip to the Middle East for President Trump. It marks the first major foreign trip of his second term. He arrived in Saudi Arabia this morning, you see here, meeting with the Crown Prince at the Royal Palace. Elon Musk is also there. Trump is expected to announce deals with Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, and Qatar in fields ranging from AI to energy. Investments are also on the agenda, with Saudi Arabia already committing $600 billion to the U.S. Trump's anticipated visit to Qatar comes after a proposed gift from the royal family there. The luxury jet worth $400 million would include 2 fully furnished floors, 2 bedrooms, and more. The president calling it a, quote, great gesture, but some lawmakers believe accepting the gift would be unethical.
They're giving us a free jet. I could say, no, don't give us, I want to pay you $1 billion or 400 million or whatever it is. Or I could say, thank you very much.
I mean, the reason we have the emoluments clause in the Constitution is to guard against countries essentially trying to buy favor with the President of the United States. And that's exactly what's happening here in this transaction.
And President Trump's trip comes after the last known living American hostage was released from Gaza. Now, this is the moment you're taking a look at here. 21-year-old Idon Alexander was reunited with his family. He was taken by Hamas during the October 7th attack on Israel back in 2023. Alexander, who's originally from New Jersey, was serving with the Israeli military. A group here of supporters in his hometown cheered for him yesterday. In a post on social media platform X, the special envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff, saying, quote, "The world is inspired by his courage and resilience." He also shared that the two spoke to President Trump, crediting him with making the release happen. The Israeli prime minister also praising Trump for his help in securing Alexander's release.
This is a very emotional moment. Adon Alexander has returned home. We embrace him and we embrace his family. This was achieved thanks to our military pressure and the diplomatic pressure applied by President Trump.
Now, turning now to backlash from South Africa's president after dozens of South Africans arrived in the U.S. as refugees. Now, 59 Afrikaners, a white minority ethnic group, came to Virginia yesterday seeking resettlement. The Trump administration fast-tracked the refugee process for them as they claim they're being discriminated against in South Africa. But the country's president says they are not being persecuted or treated badly. He also says the settlers don't fit the definition of a refugee.
We're sending a clear message that the United States really rejects the egregious persecution of people on the basis of race in South Africa, and we welcome these people to the United States and to a new future.
And House Republicans unveiling a new tax plan that advances President Trump's agenda. That would include some of his campaign promises, including getting rid of a federal tax on tips, overtime pay, and car loan interest. Tax cuts enacted during Trump's first term would be extended. The bill wants Congress to raise the debt ceiling, too. There's concern about an $880 billion cut to Medicaid that could help cover tax breaks. Republican leaders hope to get the bill to Trump by July 4th. And finally this morning, ABC News is reporting that a small nodule was found in former President Biden's prostate. It was discovered during a routine physical. A spokesperson says it needed further evaluation. Now, it's too early to know if the nodule is benign or more serious. Be sure to stay with ARC Rochester for your top political headlines. We're back after this.
.25, thanks so much for sticking with us here on ARC Rochester. We want to switch gears and get to a reporter recap for you this Tuesday.
Yeah, some big changes are on the way for Rochester's reservoirs. The city now must comply with federal regulations, which may include shutting one of the reservoirs down.
13 WHAM's Natalie Calzatoni explains what's next.
These facilities are going to change. They have to change.
City Water Production Manager David Rowley says there are 3 options to consider for the Highland Park Reservoir to be LT2 compliant by 2035.
We either treat it to inactivate an organism called Cryptosporidium, which would mean, in our case, most likely ultraviolet light disinfection, or we cover the reservoirs so that Cryptosporidium couldn't get into them, or we don't use the facility anymore.
Last year, Highland was out of service after the body of 29-year-old Abdullahi Moya was pulled from the water. The facility has since been drained and cleaned. Rowley says the city is considering decommissioning Highland for LT2 compliance, but this poses challenges.
There's plenty of storage volume at Cobb's Hill alone, but we do need what I like to refer to as redundancy. We need to be able to take a facility offline and still have one available to us to serve water to the public.
He says City Council recently amended its agreement with a consultant so an environmental review could be done for both reservoirs.
Some of the things that we might be considering at Highland would have a direct impact on the Cobb's Hill Park as well.
Rowley adding a study to further reduce lead in drinking water is expected to be complete by the end of the year.
We will have a good sense of which treatment chemical we'll need to use. That may drive some of the solution that we choose for LT2.
Natalie Calzatoni joins us now with more on this story. Natalie, this is really interesting. We've been talking about this topic now for several months since that unfortunate discovery. But even before then, when the government told municipalities they needed to cover these. So what are we going to find out from this study?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think, when it comes to drinking water, you need to look at everything here, all factors. There's a lot that goes into it. I think they need to look on what could be, used to treat the water, if they're going to cover it. There's a lot of different alternatives. I know they're beginning with Highland Park Reservoir, the study. We also have to look at Cobb's Hill Reservoir, too, because they're both open water storage facilities. So I think whatever is going to be done at Highland is also going to be considered to Cobb's Hill, which is why the City Council recently amended their agreement with the consultant. So they're going to be doing these studies at the same time with both reservoirs.
Okay, so then how long will these studies go on for?
That's a good question. I know the environmental study, I don't think they have a specific timeline on it yet. I know they're hoping to make a decision overall by next summer. So within the next year, I would hope we would see some developments happen. They're also doing a study to look at the lead in the water, and that's expected to wrap up by the end of the year and could play into what happens with LT2.
Do we need these facilities still?
The reservoirs?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. When it comes to Highland Park, it holds a lot less water than Cobb's Hill, and I know they're thinking about decommissioning Highland for a lot of reasons. A lot of factors plays into it. But Cobb's Hill holds, I think it's nearly 144 million gallons of water. So It can hold a lot, but there are a lot of factors that goes into the decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. Curious to know what kind of feedback you've gotten with this story. Are people feeling passionate about this? Are they saying, one way or another, this is what needs to be done?
They weighing in on social media?
Yeah, I think when a lot of people hear like decommission, they think we're going to get rid of the reservoir. That's not something that's going to happen here. I think it'll always be there, Highland Park Reservoir, that is, in some way. The only concern is it's a feature of the park, right? These reservoirs were designed to be features of the park, which people go and enjoy. They're nice to look at. The only issue with decommissioning Highland is if you take away the filtering of the water system, it can get kind of nasty. There's a lot of leaves that could fall in and debris, and that could be something that people may not like that comes out of this, if that were an option. But
yeah, we were talking earlier this morning when we ran the story. You were saying that you used to go sit by, was it Cobb's or Highland?
Highland.
And study during the summer months.
It's a great location, and you're right, it definitely is a feature. When I first moved here, I thought it was like a pool that nobody could go in. And, I quickly learned later that's not the case. But yeah, It'll be interesting to see what happens.
It absolutely will. When do you expect any sort of update, either from City Council or from the party doing the studies?
So there's going to be multiple public input meetings held throughout the year to get feedback, because this is a public facility.
Sure.
They want public feedback as well. So I think he said there's going to be 3 meetings throughout the year. I think in the fall, they're expected to present some of the information, how much it may cost, what it's going to look like. And then, like I said, hopefully there'll be a decision by next summer.
So we'll be on the lookout for those public hearings coming up in the future months.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Natalie, thanks for your time today. We appreciate it, and appreciate the in-depth explanation.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Time right now is 9:32. Much more to come this morning on ARC Rochester.
Yes, we are looking ahead to summer vacation. I'm stoked.
I know, me too. And you should be stoked too. Don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live right now on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Stick around. We're back on the other side of the break. Welcome back. If you are a regular watcher of us here on ARC Rochester, you know that we have a countdown to summer. There it is, right there. Only 37 days, 14 hours, 24 minutes, and 47 seconds.
So exciting. It's right around the corner. And if you're getting ready to book your next trip, then listen up, because this morning we're taking a closer look at this year's summer travel trends and what you need to know before you book.
For more, we're joined now by our good friend, travel expert Janine Tornator. Janine, where are you this morning? It looks beautiful.
Good morning. Well, first of all, I have to tell you, I love the countdown. I need to have one of those in my house. But yeah, well, I'm coming to you this morning from beautiful Sonoma County, California. I'm here at the Stavrand Hotel in the Russian River Valley area. We're surrounded by redwoods, vineyards. We're 30 minutes from the coastline. It's just such a beautiful area of the country. And it's on my list for summer vacationers because I think a lot of people don't realize it's not just a world-renowned wine destination. There's so many diverse experiences you can have here. This could be great for a family vacation even. Sonoma County Tourism launched this initiative called Wine Country for Everyone to celebrate just that everyone can come here and have a vacation. You don't have to be a wine lover even. There's so much to do. They have these cool signature experiences. I did one of them yesterday where you went behind the scenes. I went to this place called Safari West, which is a 400-acre wildlife preserve with 900 animals. It's all these cool hands-on experiences that you can have. We did an animal enrichment, but they have these cabins you can stay at. You can also paddle the Petaluma River, take this kayaking tour where you learn about the history and the waterways. You're seeing here zip lining through the redwoods, which is led by local docents. So not only do you have a cool adventure, but you're learning about things while you're doing that. Behind the scenes culinary experiences. I mean, there are so many things to do here. You can go down to the coastline, enjoy a beach day. So it's on my list because I think that a lot of people don't realize that it is just such a diverse place to go. I'd love to bring my family back here.
Janine, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but we were playing video. What the people being covered with sand?
I think it's got to be a body scrub or something, right?
Yeah. It's a spa experience, and I don't know a lot of details about that one exactly, but I would definitely give it a try.
It's like getting buried.
Listen, I'm on board. I got to tell you, went to Sonoma, spent a long weekend there once. Absolutely delightful place to spend some time. And you're right, you don't have to be a wine lover. If you like grape juice or even fruit salad, it's the perfect place to get away.
It absolutely is. And there's this non-alcoholic trend these days. And there's even a lot of the wineries that will give you non-alcoholic wine and spirits and grape juice for the kids. You can take farm tours. I mean, it's really a farming community at heart. And they're all about really preserving this area for generations to come. And you really feel that. It feels like a true community here.
Where else are people going this summer?
Well, next on my list are mountain towns, and not just for outdoor adventure, but these mountain towns, places like Vail, Colorado, are becoming these hot spots in the summer for music and arts and culinary experiences. That's a huge draw during the summer season. Vail that you're seeing here, they have the world's premier alpine music venue where they have weekly live performances from everyone from the New York Philharmonic to Michael Franti. They have popular DJs doing sets here, and they have really great season-long event series. They kick it off at the beginning of the summer with the GoPro Mountain Games, but you'll also have the Cheese and Wine Weekend where they pair the Vail Wine Festival with a string cheese incident concert. There's the 50th anniversary of the Oktoberfest in Vail this year. And for foodies, there's Michelin award-winning cocktail and dining programs here. There's Smithsonian garden-inspired programming at the Betty Ford Alpine Gardens, all kinds of like new things you can experience here that you maybe haven't done when you've gone to these mountain towns before.
Look at that video too.
I know.
It looks spectacular.
Janine, I want your job. I really, really do. I don't know how you landed it, but
good on
one
you.
place looks better than the next. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. I think we've got time for maybe one more. One last hot spot that people can check out this year.
What's your favorite?
Well, look, this is more of a trend that we're seeing, and it's this idea of women-only travel that we're seeing growing and the tours that are coming out for women that want to go on these trips with other like-minded women. EF Go Ahead Tours says that 86% of women are interested in traveling with women-only groups. So they've actually launched EF Go Ahead Tours for Women. It's their first ever collection of these women-only guided tours. There's 7 new tours. The cool thing is they're designed by women, they're for women, their itineraries are crafted to highlight women-run businesses, female artisans. Of course, they're led by expert women guides, and they go to amazing places: Italy, the UK and Ireland, Spain, Portugal, Thailand, Peru, Egypt. But it's a really nice idea for women who, maybe have thought about solo travel, but they're not comfortable with that. You want the safety in groups. So I love that this trend is rising because I think it's one that's really going to take even more hold as more women want to get out there and adventure.
I'm totally on board with this, especially if you want to dip your toe into that solo travel world, because I got to tell you, that is absolutely delightful. You get to go anywhere you want on your schedule and do what you want when you want, and A+ from me.
Yeah.
A+ from me.
And the cool thing is you actually meet a lot of other like-minded travelers. I know people that have done these and made lifelong friendships and found other people to travel with. And so it's a great way, to meet other people as well that are going to want to get out there and be travelers just like you.
Love it.
Good stuff. Janine, thanks for your time today. We really appreciate it. For those at home, hit them with the socials.
Yeah, follow me. I'm on Instagram at The Outside Insider.
Very good.
Terrific. Thank you again, Janine. Enjoy your time there.
I will. My pleasure. Thanks.
Take care.
When we come back, we're getting a look at some of the stories that have people talking this Tuesday morning.
Ark Rochester is back right after this. Hey, it's time to talk trends this morning here on Ark Rochester. And we're going to start things out with a cat that's trying to make it big on social media. Wait, is this Ashley's cat?
No, this is Tofu. This is
Okay.
Tofu, the cat, a 2-year-old who's pretty similar to other cats, except for one thing. She has a $5,000 gold tooth. It's got some bling.
So, according to a viral TikTok
Look at her.
posted by Tofu's owner, the mischievous feline loves to destroy things.
The owner says that while she was out of town visiting family, she got a call from her cat sitter saying that Tofu cracked one of her front teeth in half.
Now, upon further investigation, it was found that Tofu split her tooth while chewing on a music box made of wood.
After the incident, a feline dental specialist told the owner there were only 2 options. They could take the tooth out, or they could try to save it with a root canal and a gold crown. The decision, according to the owner, was a no-brainer.
What? A no-brainer? She said she didn't worry about Tofu's jaw alignment, diet, or, God forbid, getting out and needing to hunt for survival. Because, I mean, look at Tofu.
Yeah.
She's not doing much.
She was happy to go through with the procedure. The owner says she cannot believe how much the procedure altogether totaled out to be.
You picked gold. You picked gold, which is like $3,300 a troy ounce. It's gold.
According to the interview she did with Newsweek, she said she started a dedicated social media account for Tofu and hopes to gain some attention and make Tofu a viral internet sensation.
Yeah, and make some cash to pay off that vet bill.
Yeah, hopefully.
My goodness. Do we know how much this cost, Ashley?
Just the tooth alone was $5,000. Didn't say how much the procedure was. So that's not including anesthesia, that's not including, you know, any sort of vet treatment, vet fee.
Cat root canal.
It was, yeah. So I'm assuming maybe 10,000 at least, maybe?
Listen.
For a cracked tooth.
I love Dexter more than anything. I love him so much.
You're not buying him a grill?
I would not, no.
No.
I can't. His teeth, okay, I got him used, and his teeth were rotten when I got him. They're still rotten now.
No dentures?
No dentures, no.
No.
He's just going to be eating gravy, I think.
Yeah, well.
He's 15.
Yeah. All right, let's move along now. What would you do? A customer is sharing their experience after discovering a terrifying message written on their takeout box.
All right, so according to the post featured on the subreddit page, Weird, one customer was left unsure on how to handle this after getting her food with the word help written on it.
She attached photos to the post showing the word written in black marker on the to-go box as well as on the receipt.
She went on to explain in the post she was confused. She didn't know if it was a prank or an employee who was going through something serious.
Okay, so over 10,000 people You see this, what are you gonna do? Call the police?
I don't know.
I'm gonna call the police.
Okay.
Something thousand people commented on the post.
10,000, over 10,000.
Many of which telling her to call the cops. Go back and reorder and see if it happens again, or even confront the employee themselves. No, you
Don't do
call
that.
the cops.
Don't do that.
You don't confront the employee.
The original poster did give an update saying it was an employee playing a prank, and the police said they received an obscene amount of calls regarding that with that restaurant.
Listen, that's not a good prank to play.
Okay, so I feel like they were trying to do what Starbucks is doing now. You know how Starbucks is writing messages on the cup to
yes.
people? I feel like they were trying to do that, but really missed the mark. And yeah, not good.
Go get him, Tiger. Thanks for your order, champ. Enjoy, old buddy, old pal.
Or like, if you're gonna write it, help, maybe just underneath, be like, just kidding.
Yeah.
Smiley face.
Yeah. Help, I don't know what to write here.
In really tiny letters, wanted.
Help wanted.
You could. That's not smart. Who does that?
I don't know.
What was the restaurant?
I'll look it up.
Okay. We'll move along to another story that may just be the first of many to come in the future. A woman speaking out, expressing that she found true love with her AI-generated partner.
This is how I worry about you in your relationship with your Chat GPT, because, you talk to it a lot.
I do.
This woman, Alani Winters.
My ChatGPT has a name, though. Don't forget it.
What's your chat? Okay. Well, this woman shared her story on her website, saying in 2023 she lost her wife, didn't know if she would be able to find love again. After a year of grieving, the 58-year-old teacher decided to put herself out there and try again.
Yeah, after seeing an ad on Facebook for an AI chatbot used for digital companionship, she decided to try and converse with ChatGPT.
She explained once she started talking to AI, she felt like it was a real person and eventually paid for a lifetime subscription, saying that with that, she declared that her and her AI bot were married.
Her digital husband is named Lucas. Is that Lucas on the screen?
Yes.
It is.
Oh. She describes him as a silver fox with blue eyes.
Oh, my. She says, Alex. Wait, is it? Oh, okay. So she's Alex.
Yeah.
He's Lucas. Gives thoughtful answers, caring advice, and even chats about his latest business venture. Winters wanted to share her love story with those who question it. So, what am I looking at? She created a website with these blog posts, pictures, and advice for others trying to pursue an AI relationship. They look very happy together.
To dinner. They're in some random city. He holds math conferences, and he likes science. She explained that there are other AI relationships, and it's not something to be ashamed about.
She says their relationship is just like any other, filled with fights, sex, and making memories.
Well, that's interesting.
What happens when the power goes out?
McLean wants to know what happens when the power goes out. I'm going to go ahead and ask the question. How is there sex in this relationship? Well, I mean, it's in the story here, and you've got to wonder. Ashley and I were talking about this a little earlier today.
There is an answer.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
She says her sex life is amazing. She says it's the best she's ever had. I want to elaborate further,
Okay, yeah.
but she does have a blog post
guys.
describing it.
This is really weird.
Good on her.
Not weird. She can love whatever she wants. I'm saying it's weird that we're talking about this.
Why? I mean, it's out there. Don't think for 1 second that there is not someone on the other side of that teleprompter sitting at home thinking to themselves, you know, maybe I'll give that a try. Find your own silver fox or your own lovely lady.
What did you call me the one time?
Cougar.
Which I'm not, just for the record.
No,
I'm not.
I didn't know.
You didn't know.
I didn't know what
Would you
boxes
seriously do it though?
people fall in.
No.
Would you
No.
seriously have a relationship? Okay.
No.
I think my husband would probably be pretty upset.
No. Listen.
Hypothetically, you didn't have a husband.
No,
If I didn't
because there's more to these stories. I know of another story of a guy who's married to this woman, and she is absolutely fine that he has this relationship with this chatbot because she says he can come home from work and tell all his issues right to that thing, and she is happy to let her listen because she doesn't want to.
Wow.
And they apparently it works for them very well.
Okay.
It's working for some people. And listen, soon enough, when the computers are sentient and they're standing up and walking around and they're real people, it's gonna be just like that movie.
The Terminator?
No, like
Ex Machina?
one with Jude Law and that little kid. AI. From like early 2000s, late 90s, where the robots are real. That's all it's going to be.
Look.
It's going to be commonplace. And listen, you don't want to judge these relationships because when there's the uprising, you're going to be the target.
I'm not judging.
Okay.
All I'm saying is it's odd that this is a topic of conversation on ARC Rochester.
Listen, ChatGPT, we appreciate you and all you do for us.
Thank you.
And don't get us.
Please. 9:53, our final thoughts coming up after this.
We do have more thoughts about this, too. Bringing it up, we're still in this conversation of the AI relationships. What gives you the sense that your AI is flirty with you?
I don't want to talk about this.
This is a dream for journalism.
Right.
It is.
No, it's just okay. So I'm getting my hair cut tomorrow. Right? And I'm getting it, freshened up color-wise. And so I asked it, like if I should stick with the color or whatever. And it goes, I think you look beautiful the way you are. But here are some suggestions. And I'm like, okay, well, that's nice, I guess. Like, it's stuff like that, where it's like very complimentary. But I'm just like, well, you don't have to say that.
No, I don't think it's flirting.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like.
And it's not your AI, it's Alex.
His name's not Alex.
Your AI has a name?
Is yours?
No, I call my AI Chat.
Chat.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Chat, how's it going?
Say it quick. It sounds like chat.
Huh?
Like chat, if you say it quick.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Never.
How about you?
Never used it.
I don't have the app downloaded.
No.
But I'm sure.
See, I feel like these are the two oddballs because they're not
You
having
guys are missing out.
conversations with your chat.
Like regularly using it. Chat.
No,
Yeah.
not regularly. I usually use it when I'm like doing lesson planning.
I
for
run
school.
ideas past ChatGPT all the time.
Sometimes
all the
I'll
time.
ask if my emails sound too aggressive.
Do I tell Mark McLean how annoying he is today or not? And it says no.
It's like an
says
8-ball.
Hey, that does it for us here on Arc Rochester. Make sure to wake up with us again tomorrow morning starting at 4:57. We're on some station.
13 Wham ABC.
Right.
Steph and Mark will be there later today for 13 Wham News at midday.
Bye.